David Morgan, together with myself, David Goldstrom, and we're just about approaching the halfway stage in the men's super heavyweight class. These are the men who can eat what they like, drink what they like, and the only thing they've got to do at the weigh-in is make sure that they're more than 105 kilos, which is over 231 pounds or over 16.5 stone. And David, there's some really big men in this, including perhaps the biggest of the lot, who's still got, I'm happy to say, one lift to come, the Bulgarian Mescheriakov.
Yes, already been successful with 192 and 198.
And although he's the heaviest, that 198 kilos at the moment makes him the leader. He's leading Roman Mescheriakov, who's coming back for the Russian team after 5 years of absence from the sport. He's got 197, but he's finished lifting. Mescheriakov of Latvia still has one attempt to come, the Olympic silver medalist. He's currently in 3rd place on 193 kilos. And this man coming on to the stage, Artem Udashin, 2 failures at 198, David. So a man who in his time set all the junior European records, under pressure, but answering the question. And weighed in at 149 kilos, 149.15, and that's considerably lighter than the 160 of the Bulgarian Shokalov, or Sholikov, I should say, so he goes into the lead. So the Ukraine from Bulgaria and Russia, but still some lifts to come. Arshot Danielin of Armenia, Skerbatis, both with 1 lift to come, and also the big man, Sholikov. So the Armenian, Arshot Danielin, coming on to the stage. 3 former European champions in the lineup. This man who won the European title in '99 and 2000 and was the bronze medalist last year. That's good, David. Takes the lead. 200 kilos.
Yes, had a failure on 193, corrected on his 2nd, and then took a fairly big jump to 200 and takes the lead.
Once again, we've got a really competitive competition on our hands here, David, because it doesn't look as if anybody's going to race away with this, certainly not in the first half.
Yes, and really doing well to get that lift.
Yeah, and it's made it all the more interesting. Danielin, who was, as I said, champion in '99 in La Coruña and defended it well in 2000. On those occasions, totaling up 245 and then 252.5. Now Skerbatis, also extremely experienced, 31 years of age, the Latvian, Olympic silver medalist. He's certainly capable of this.
Yes, and this is his 3rd and final attempt, but of course a success would put him in the lead by virtue of lighter body weight, weighing at 140.40.
Yeah, that's good. Well, this is exactly what we wanted to see, David, a really competitive super heavyweight class. Okay, there's no one here in the same league as the great Olympic and world champion Hossein Razazadeh of Iran, but nonetheless, this looks like being a really good fight. It's wide open, and there's any one of half a dozen here who could take this title. Incidentally, everybody in the B group easily surpassed. Only Velagic of Germany, total up 387. He was the best of those who competed earlier in the day. So at the moment, just this man remaining in the first half of the competition. Scherbatis, 200, lighter body weight, putting him ahead of the Armenian Ashot Danielin, and Artem Udashin of the Ukraine, currently third by virtue of body weight, ahead of this man. But 200 would only move him up from fourth into second place. Daniel, who's currently in second place, weighed in at 166 kilos.
Not to be.
Well, there's a good illustration, David. You can be big, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can lift the weight. And so, Mescheriakov of Bulgaria, a little bit disappointing, David. I mean, he's the Olympic bronze medalist.
Yes, just a bit short on the pull. Seemed to be lacking concentration. So stays on 198.
But what it does mean, as we come to the halfway point in this men's super heavyweight competition, is that there are just 3 kilos separating the first 5 men. Mescheriakov of Russia in 5th place. You'll see it in a moment when we have the official result on 197, and Scherbatis has got the snatch gold medal. Ashot Danielin of Armenia the silver, and Artem Udashin of the Ukraine the bronze. And here it is, confirmation. And as you can see there, no one has put in 3 out of 3. 9 men in this super heavyweight final. Won last year by Victor Scherbatis. So the defending champion at the moment, by virtue of lighter body weight, at the top of the table. But so 3-4 seconds and we'll be underway. This is the situation in the warm-up room. And the bar has gone to 215 kilos for the first attempt of the Belarus Viktor Kapranov, who finds himself down in 8th place, having snatched 185 kilos. 22 years of age, junior world silver medalist and junior European champion 3 years ago, but we've not seen much of him since then. Just a reminder of our email address, question@weightlifting.de, and also just a reminder that the 105 kilos, because we've got a busy afternoon, you'll be able to see that in highlights form just a little later this afternoon. Keep an eye on Eurosport.com for the timetable. And the Poles hoping to go out with a bang there, with perhaps one of the Wenger brothers getting a gold medal. But this is the man who leads the competition at the moment. Kapranov of Belarus with 400 kilos exactly. Well, David, we've seen 1 or 2 of the young Greeks. Here's another one of Yakovu's new class.
Yes, as you say, junior world champion. Starting to slowly rebuild, aren't they? Although he's not having a particularly successful day today so far. Snatched 180 and then just pulled the weight on 186 twice. Didn't even really go for it, so was beaten psychologically.
Yeah, which is disappointing, because in the national championships recently he snatched 185 kilos, and in last year's Worlds he clean and jerked 226. So maybe he's temporarily run into the buffers. it happens. He's only 20, remember, so he's got a long way to go in his career as a super heavyweight. Yeah, and he was clean and jerking 215 last year in career at the Junior World, so you would expect at his age and having done what he's done that he would make some progress. That's Danielin, biggest of the class at 166 kilos. We'll be looking forward to the banquet, I think. 6 o'clock tonight, the usual celebrations before everybody piles down to the disco for the last time. You were down there again last night, I gather?
I was in bed early.
That's not the report I've received. So Papagoridis, 215 kilos, needs to get this one in to secure a total, and then maybe try and push a little harder, but the body language, David, just sort of suggests that it's not going to be his day, but I hope he at least gets a total here. He's got the right man on his side with Yakovlev. Well, this is very disappointing.
He just doesn't seem with it psychologically, does he, today?
Gives me a chance to catch up on one or two of the B group results. Almar Velagic, he was doing reasonably well. Did 175 kilos in the snatch, which gave him the lead at half-time, which I explained when we first joined. However, he didn't actually end up as the top man in the B group. That honour goes to Gilliam Hammer of Sweden, who totaled 389 kilos, and at the moment is currently in overall second place, just behind Viktor Kapranov of Belarus. The other men in the B group, Modestas Simkus of Lithuania, 333 his total. Petr Hejda of the Czech Republic, 361, and Antti Everi of Finland, 359. I know there's some of you out there who like to know what happened in the B group. The websites, you can find them on the internet pretty straightforwardly. If you can't, go to the Elico website, Elico Sport WSE, and you'll get all the information there as well on the European Championships.
So last chance to make a total.
Yeah, and 395, he'll be desperately disappointed if he can't do this when you consider Doha, he had 411, and the Junior Worlds he did 397, which at that time was his personal best, but it doesn't seem to be his day at the moment. He's coached by Pavlos Saltidis, himself an Olympic medalist. Big effort, come on. Much better clean, and he got the reward, David. But it means he goes to 395, and it means that Gilliam Hammer of Sweden, who lifted in the B group, that 389 is going to give him a higher ranking place. So the young Greek will be disappointed with that. But when you look at him, David, and in this super heavyweight class, he's really, in a sense, more of a candidate, ultimately, perhaps for London 2012, rather than he is for Beijing 2006.
Yes,
2008.
Yes, he needs more time.
So here's the competition leader at the moment. He's put the bar up by a full 10 kilos. Now, that sounds a lot, but these guys are the big guys. They can handle a 10 kilo increase, well, hopefully.
It's good. Yes, 225 kilos, just a touch under 500 pounds.
Increases his advantage to 410 kilos. It's been a good week here, David. This Chetnyevo Olympic Training Centre, very well organised, good quality accommodation. Something we could learn from back home, perhaps?
Yes, well, they seem to have it all set up. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that we're supposedly getting a lot of money now for the Olympic Games. It'd be interesting to see where it's going to go.
I mean, an excellent training hall. You've been in there pretty well every day, I think.
Yes, yeah, it'd be nice to have something in England that sort of would be permanent for weightlifting. Or we need a house. We need a house and a home for British weightlifting, don't we? Because we need something permanent with the right facilities in the right environment. And I just wonder whether there's like a town in England which might like to, as the build-up to the whole of the Olympic Games in 2012, would like to have the cachet of saying, I don't know, for example, Daventry, the home of British weightlifting, or where we could find a house, set it out, have the training facility, the sauna, the physio and the backup in that regard, but also have enough accommodation so the squad could be there and have really cost-effective and focused training sessions. So if there's anybody out there, if we're going to compete with these people, we've got to be professionals in the same way that they are.
Yeah, just talking to the British boys last night, they've all got jobs. They can't afford at the moment to train full time, and we've got to give money to people so that they can do just that. So Cholikov of Bulgaria, the Olympic bronze medalist, 230 on the bar. That's a bit of a wobbly opener, David. I don't know what you make of that.
And I think it's the same as all the Bulgarians all through the week. They've all been down on their best poundages.
Cholikov actually out of the medals by virtue of being heavier than Udashin at the halfway stage, but of course there was only 3 kilos separating the first 5, so it is really close. But on the evidence of what we've seen, I have to say I wouldn't be backing the big man here to actually take the European title. Not at this stage.
I'm sure he's done a 210 and a 240 plus, has he not?
Well, he's done a 245. He did 245, which is his personal best. He did that actually in the European Championships in Kiev when he won the title. He's one of the 3 former European champions in today's lineup. So 245 is
way down.
Yeah, he's way down. The Olympics he did 240. It's interesting. You don't usually see someone at the European Championships immediately before the Olympic Games do more than they did in the Olympic Games, but he did. In fact, overall he did actually snatch a bit more in the Olympic Games. He totaled 447.5. So Mescheriakov on the comeback trail here for Russia, the former number 2 to the big man Chemerkin, who was the dominant figure in super heavyweight lifting for Russia during the mid and late 90s. 231 on the bar.
Needs to hold.
2-1. I thought it might be a split decision, David. And it's Esa Loma, the right-hand referee, who's I think the man who was not convinced about that. Here we go. What do you think?
I thought it was all right, actually.
Yeah, perhaps deceived because it was a bit wobbly.
It was locked out, and the feet were in low.
Pavel Nidek now for the host nation. Nidek down in 7th place at the halfway stage. 3 good lifts though, 180, 185, 189. Now he was supposed to go up there for 232, but there's been a change. It's gone down to 231. So Nidek is going to come in for 232, that's clear. But it looks as if Mescheriakov of Russia on 231.
Well, hang on a minute.
I can't work this out.
I don't understand.
He's had 231.
Maybe
they've overruled it. The jury have overruled it.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's the only reason that could have been gone to a fail, because that was a good lift on my board.
Absolute nonsense.
The jury, the 5-man jury, by a majority or whatever, have overruled it.
Absolute nonsense.
And it's blown him in the head, really, hasn't it? Well, I don't fathom that. I'd really like to see a replay of the first.
Well, I watched the replay, and it was absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's the first one I'd like to see again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, this doesn't.
There's no. I'm sorry, but there's no consistency at all in the jury. There's people that press weights out and get lifts past, and you got somebody who doesn't really do anything wrong, gets a no lift, and then is put into a situation like this. So you wait later in the competition, somebody will do a blatant press out, and the jury will be sleeping.
Well, it's a horrible situation for him to be in, because now he's really under the cosh. Because, well, I wonder what they might do. Will they buy a bit of time? And I think it's more in his head than his actual strength, David. I think
I think he probably feels that he did everything right the first time.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1:40 on the clock. They do have the option to put the weight up for him and buy a bit more time. But at the moment he's sitting on 197 from the snatch phase and no overall total. Minute 20 now. David Riggott on the right there. He must be as perplexed as we are.
Yes, so it's really sort of a job of getting his head back together.
Yeah, the strength is not a problem. It's just, you know, and in a sense, you know, his whole second half plan has been destroyed.
Well, he's following himself, which is hard. But he's also in the back of his mind probably feels he's been a bit hard done by.
Yeah, the only thing.
And I'd agree with him.
Yeah, well, he's got to just close that out. If he does get this, by virtue of lighter body weight, he will go into the lead, but sadly, gold medals will, I suspect, not be his for very long. Let's hope he gets this. I really hope he gets this. Come on.
Needs to recover.
Stand still. Feet in line.
No.
No.
No. Well, that's a shame.
That's a very disappointing finish to his afternoon. Former world silver medalist on the comeback trail. But it's not going to be a very happy flight back to Moscow, I'm afraid. Well, he tried everything here, David. Just couldn't stand still. Feet weren't in line. You can just see him constantly moving. Well, here we get another view. Good replay there. Just actually shows very clearly. So after that, on we go to Pavel Nidek on 2:32. Now, it's had a good sequence, David, up to 189. 3 good lifts in the first half. And of course, Mescheriakov's departure just makes his chance a little bit easier to get towards the medals now. Well, at his best, he's a 250 man.
Now, the arms locked and unlocked. Is he going to get a good lift? Yeah, 3 white lights. Well, so it's absolutely so inconsistent. This is why the rule is stupid. You've got a guy in the back room now who's got no total, who didn't do any worse
on his original lift.
On his original lift,
yeah.
Well, better, if anything. If you watch this, look at the arms. Look there. Look. Unlock,
yeah,
lock.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, I know we're in his home country, but you know there are 5 members of the jury. None of the referees.
Well, they've gone back to sleep again. They woke up for a second, made a wrong decision. Now they've gone back to sleep again. I'm sorry, but it's you know, you shouldn't have competitions being decided by bad refereeing.
Well, Nidek, he's got 4:21 and he's in the lead in the clean and jerk. In second place now to Sholikov of Bulgaria, who's got 4:28 in the overall, but still some way to go. And I think it'll be Skerbatis now, the defending European champion, to come out on 2:35. Valdemar Bazanovsky on the right there, the president of the European Weightlifting Federation. Polish by birth, 2-time Olympic champion himself, and a very good Olympic champion. I personally don't remember his performances, David, but everybody regards him very highly for what he was and the performances he produced as an athlete. And certainly a very excellent president of the European Federation. So now, 235 kilos, and it's actually Udashin coming out first. Artem Udashin, 26 years of age. He's qualified. Oh, oof. Well, he looked uncomfortable when he came out. But what do you think, David? That might...
Torn thigh.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
So he's not had a good day. Took 3 attempts to get his first snatch of 198, and leaves the competition after his first attempt on the clean and jerk. So back to the drawing board.
Yeah, the problem is, you know, the time it takes you to recover from these injuries. What would you say, David? Difficult to know because you don't know the extent of it, but...
Well, I don't think... It's a tear. Tears don't take that long to heal. Maybe 4 weeks.
but it's
depending on it's what they do now that counts. They get the ice on it straight away, and you know, in a week, maybe for the first 2 days, ice it, then start heating it, stretching it, and then after a couple of weeks, light exercise, and then just don't come back too soon. Don't try and push too hard too soon.
What about the Frenchman the other night, Matam, with the what looked to be a dislocated elbow, but wasn't?
Oh yes, according to the doctor, the elbow wasn't dislocated, but the tendon was stretched.
Yeah. Well, this super heavyweight competition taking a few twists and turns. Next man out should be Ashot Danielin, the 32-year-old Armenian. Weighing in at around about 359 pounds or 25, 26 stone, that sort of area. And very experienced. Bronze medalist last year, and he has in his time clean and jerked 247.5, and in fact did that last year in Sofia. That's his personal best in the clean and jerk, so he's somewhere short of that at the moment. Well, it should have been comfortable, and it was. $18 countries at the moment going home with medals before today's competition. If we could get to 20, that would be really nice. Today's competition, and of course the highlights of the 105 kilos tonight at 7:45 Central European time. You'll be able to see those. Check your local listings on Eurosport, because it does vary from country to country. Russia at the top of the medal table, 15 golds, 14 silvers and 3 bronze. But Bulgaria, uncharacteristically, not even a gold medal, just 3 silver medals and a collection of 5 bronzes at the moment. But this is the man who has a chance to change that. Currently in second place, 428 kilos.
Well, that was better.
Yeah, but the 6 kilos, David, only take him to 234, so he stays in second place. He's still 2 kilos down on Ashot Danielin, who's only used 1 of his lives. He's used 2 of his lives, that's Mescheriakov. Pavel Nidek in third place on 421 with 2 lives left. And still to move Kolokoltsev of the Ukraine, the Latvian Skebatis, the defending champion. And it will be Skebatis coming in. We usually have to wait for him to win, David, but there's usually an explosion of joy when Skebatis wins at the end. Totaled up 450 kilos to take the championship last year, and snatched 250 kilos on the way to that. Sorry, clean and jerk 250 kilos on the way to that. Which actually is the same amount that he achieved in his journey to Olympic silver medal. Only beaten by Hossein Rezazadeh. Well, that's good. Puts him back right on top of the leaderboard, just by a kilo. Another man who, in his time, has...
Well, a kilo and lighter body weight, weighed in at 26 kilos less than Danielle and a shot.
I was going to say another man who's also in his time served a 2-year suspension for doping infringements. That was 2001 after the Goodwill Games. Lifts for Riga, and he is the #1 in his country. Well, Nidek now with 237 kilos going on the bar. So this would take him to 426, still out of the medals. Well, we both think, David, that he got away with it the first time. I surely won't let him get away with it another time with this.
Well, we don't know.
Lift.
We don't know, because it's inconsistent, isn't it? Well, that's good that time.
Yeah, that time much better.
Much better.
Wouldn't argue with that. Pavel's great idol, Ronnie Weller, the man who holds the European total record of 467 kilos and also the European clean and jerk record of 260 kilos. And that dates all the way back to Riga. Can you remember that competition? Great day there at 1998, the first time the current weight categories were established. And Mark Huster, Ronnie Weller, Oliver Caruso, Monica Riesterer. That really was the heyday of German lifting, really. 260 seems an awful long way off at the moment, doesn't it? Zazadeh's world record 263, 472 total. It's worth mentioning actually that Skerbatis, when he got the silver medal, it was good, but he was a full 17.5 kilos off Hossein Zazadeh, effectively in a class of his own. Now, this is interesting, David, because wonder how dangerous this man can become. He was down in 6th place, only 8 kilos off the leader. This is Kolokoltsev of the Ukraine.
It's very light, only weighed in at 120 kilos. So one of the smaller men.
And this is way better than he attempted in Doha. So if he's in this sort of condition, well, he's obviously in much better condition, David, because he only did 226 in the clean and jerk in Doha. So, that's 12 kilos more straight away. He's got a personal best of 252, although I have to say, when I was looking at the records, I couldn't find that. I was checking through, I could find 242 and a half, I could find 240, I couldn't find 252 anywhere, but that's the stat that's down on a particular piece of paper that's being passed to us. So Kolokoltsev with that lift going to the top of the table, 430. And now Sholikov of Bulgaria, who's out of the overall medals, he's down on 434. And this will take him to 430. I'm just looking at this actually. No, what am I talking about? Skerbatis leads, Sholikov in 3rd place. This will take him to 436. Don't quite understand this selection. It doesn't matter. Because even if he had got that, David, he wouldn't have got past Skerbatis.
He's obviously not in his best shape, is he? None of the Bulgarians are.
No, desperately disappointing championships by the Bulgarians. Skibatis leads at this moment. Ashot Danielin of Armenia in second place by just a kilo, 4:37 to 4:36. Sholikov at the moment in third place on 4:34. But Kolokoltsev, who's got 2 lifts to come, at the moment fourth with 4:30. So, bar still on 2:38. Will it be Nidek? No, it's going to 2:40. Yeah, just going back to the British situation, David, I mean, it is fairly critical. I'm sure other sports are facing similar dilemmas as well, but sort of, if you regard all the different sports as brothers in a family, weightlifting is very much the little brother in the British sporting family, so it needs a bit of a helping hand. And the other thing that we're
having success in swimming and cycling. We need to look at the blueprint and copy it for other sports.
But you first of all got to present a very good plan of what you want to do and a clear path to success. I mean, there's no doubt that what we've got to do with the lifting team, you're fairly enthusiastic about our lifting group at the moment, aren't you? If they were able to, in a sense, put their jobs to one side and dedicate themselves full time, really, support the coaching staff, maybe we need to look at strengthening our coaching staff. What we could do with a Krzysztof Yakovu in our camp. Cost us a few bob, but the good ones always do. When you've guided as many men as he has to Olympic gold. So Kolokoltsev now coming out for the Ukraine. And the bar 2:42, so this is a big push by him. Another 4 kilos will take him to 4:38 and the overall lead, and he'll still have one more attempt left. Kolokoltsev, 25 years of age, so just coming into his prime as a super heavyweight. He's got a best of, as I said, 2:52 on a piece of paper, but he certainly has lifted this in competition. He lifted this in Athens at the Olympics. Not for me. No. Not for me. There was a press out there anyway. But he's got one more attempt. Press out on the left arm, so... Skibatis still leading on 4:37. 2 lifts to come. Nidek's got 1, but not really threatening the medals. Kolokoltsev can still make a difference. And of course, the big man, Ashot Danielin, 166.2 kilos. Now Danielin, he posted 2:40 as his opener, David, so I haven't seen him.
Yes, he's done 236.
Oh,
he came down. He posted 240. Came down to 236. So he's got a lift on the board.
Yeah, he's got. Sorry, my apologies. 4:36, and he's in, of course, second place. Confusing myself here, but he's got 2 attempts. Skibatis has got 2 attempts. Kolokoltsev has got 1 attempt, and Nidek, really, David, I think what he's looking for with the 1 attempt that he's got left is just playing it cannily to see what sort of medal he could get in the clean and jerk. But this would make life interesting. If Kolokoltsev could get this 2:42, it'd be quite challenging. So this man who was 5th in the Olympic Games, behind Skebatis, who was the silver medal winner, and behind Mescheriakov on that occasion, who took the bronze.
Stop.
No,
not today.
Too heavy today. So the outcome of that is that at the moment, with 238 kilos, he still leads the clean and jerk rankings, but overall he's left down in 4th place. So there's a real chance of consolation medal in the clean and jerk. There's Pavel Nidek just waiting his turn. Didn't believe?
No.
Nidek, 33 years of age, pretty good servant to Polish weightlifting. Lifts also in Germany in the Bundesliga. Well, this is not the best ever, but it's the best for an awful long time. If you can pick this up, David. Of course, he'll go into the lead in terms of the clean and jerk.
Just a bit close to the windpipe there.
Interesting calculations though, David. If he got that, it would have taken him to
443.
Overall 433.
443.
443? No, 433.
No, snatch 200. 200 plus 243 is 443.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nidek now, 243. What I find interesting about this is, and this is really the point I was making about with Nidek, that this would take him to 433, right? No, 432.
Yep.
6 kilos, 432. Yeah, but it doesn't put him into
no, he's just too far down on the snatch to make it up. He's looking for clean and jerk honours here.
The second, but better than the first. The first was definitely dodgy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The second was perfectly okay, and that gives him 243 kilos, and he stands at the top of the clean and jerk rankings with only 3 lifts remaining. And that means that Skebatis, who's currently in 3rd place, and Danielin, who just had that recent failure at 243, it means that he's guaranteed a medal. The only question is, what colour? Could even be the gold medal, because Skebatis and Danielin, they're scrapping, aren't they, for the overall title. I remember what happened last night, David, in the 94 kilo competition. Kasabiev came through with that excellent 200 clean and jerk to win the
220.
220, yeah, to take these.
To take it, yeah. Yeah, after those failures in the snatch.
So Skebatis, 245. So this is an 8-kilo increase. And remember, he's got 2 lives left here. So this would take him to 4:45. And then Danielin would have 1 attempt to surpass that. And Danielin, of course, much the heavier of the 2 remaining lifters in the championship. So everything favouring the defending champion at the moment. 245 kilos. This might be the championship winning lift.
No problem.
Well, he won the title for the first time in Europe in 2001. Regained it last year. Along the way, picked up an Olympic silver medal. Was 4th in the World Championships in Doha, and continues to be one of the really top super heavyweights in the world. Really, only Rezazadeh has the better of him at the moment. Now, Ashot Danielin on 4:36, he's got to take 10 kilos more. He's got to go from 2:36 to 2:46, which is what is being loaded at the moment, to go to 4:46, a kilo ahead of Skerbatis, to put pressure on the defending champion. I think this is a very big question he's asking of himself. It is a weight he's lifted, but when you compare the 2 men in the World Championships last year, only 232, David. So this is a huge question, I think. So the former champion versus the reigning champion. No, not to be. Skerbatis and the Latvian team from Riga have worked it out to perfection. The championship is theirs, and that means 3 times Viktor Skerbatis of Latvia has won the European crown. He's still got 1 lift left. Now, 2:46, David, he's too far away from records to do anything. I've got a feeling he might just call it a day here. The bar's gone to 2:55, but that doesn't really mean anything, apart from if he's got a personal best and there's a particular weight that he might achieve that might bring in the bonus payments, national records and bonus payments. So this would take him to 455 kilos, and this would equal the total that he achieved in Athens when winning a silver medal behind Hossein Rezazadeh of Iran. So it doesn't break it, but it equals it. So this is all very personal, isn't it?
Yes, and of course, Nidek managed the silver in the clean and jerk with that 2:43 as it was. So Poland getting something.
Yeah, Kolokoltsev ultimately will be presented with the bronze medal. He's done well.
Not today, but he's won the championship, so I'm sure he's not too bothered.
I've got the feeling, David, that he just wanted to find out about himself, you know, with the World Championships coming up at the end of September into October in the Dominican Republic. where am I? What can I do? And he's got an idea now. So for the second year running and the third time in his career, Victor Skebartis in picture is the European champion, the best of the super heavyweights in Europe, and takes the title at the age of 31. And another country goes on the roll of honor. Overall, Ashot Danielin of Armenia finishes on 4:36, so comprehensively beaten. And in third place, Veliko Sholikov of Bulgaria, the Olympic bronze medalist, but nowhere near his best form on 4:34. And then Pavel Nidek of Poland actually finishing in fourth place on 4:32. But as you can see in the clean and jerk, Skebartis getting the second of his gold medals here. Nidek a consolation silver, and Koltsev of the Ukraine getting the bronze ahead of Sholikov, underlining that this has certainly not been Bulgaria's championships. They've been a shadow of their former selves, and Danielin also a little disappointing for Armenia. Gilliam Hammer there of Sweden, not too bad, David. Moving up from the B group into 7th place. That's good to see a Swede on the first page of the leaderboard. And Papagaridis, the junior world champion for Greece, just not his day. Gilliam Hammer, who'll be representing Sweden in a rather new and exciting event next weekend in Iceland, a team competition between the Nordic nations. And Udoshin injured, having to pull out. Mescheriakov, David, hard done by.
I think so.
Well, that's it. There's the situation in the back room. Overall, perhaps not the competition it looked to be at the halfway stage, when just 3 kilos separated the first 5, but Skebartis in a league of his own. Danielin, former champion, having won the European title twice, unable to make it 3, and Sholikov, I think, to be honest, David, a bit fortunate today to end up with the overall bronze medal. And Nidek for Poland, once again a Polish lifter, finishing 4th in the championship, but not too bad. Koltsev 5th, and again you can see Gilliam Hammer there. That's not too bad. The Swede, very light body weight, 122 kilos and 389. That's okay. So still to come.